So I got my Wysocki Bomb Tour Series Aviar. First feeling them, they feel really good in the hand, super stiff. It's right between almost an Aviar, KC Aviar, and a Whale was my first impression. So it's not quite as deep rimmed as a Whale, but not quite as thin profile as a regular KC. The wider rim definitely fits really good in my hand. I think the bigger the disc is, the more surface area I can grab. And I think it really allows me to feel comfortable. I mean, that's obviously the most important thing when you're putting. The Wysocki Bomb, it's kind of a signature as far as a lot of my logos go. So it's really fitting to work with Innova on the Bomb logo. A putter like this really doesn't change that much. It's gonna get a little bit softer, but it's just gonna be stiff all around, even if you leave it out in the sun. Where the bead places on this is a little bit down further. So when I put my finger out, so I feel like I actually have a lot more control as opposed to having a little bit more up top with the regular KC, because the regular KC is not quite as deep. So your finger may be up top, whereas it's more on the bottom with this because of how deep it is. So I think that actually plays a big role in getting that nice consistent release point. My first putting style, I remember I had these black JK Pro Aviars, and that was back in like 2010, 2011. And I remember I was really cool back then because I had shark stamped JK Pro Aviar. So that was my first experience with changing my style. I remember using those, and I was doing this sling putt where I was basically like turning the basket and throwing it 100 miles an hour at the basket. And I was an amateur, and I would 3-putt all the time in my local C tiers, and I got frustrated with that. I'm like, all right, how can I try and make every single putt no matter where I'm at, whether I'm 80 feet, 20 feet, 100 feet. At the time I was staying with Felberg, and he kind of told me like, hey, you need to change your putt if you want to have any success in this sport. And so he actually told me, he goes, all right, envision that you got to go under a board right in front of you, but yet over the next board that's right in front of you. So it'd be like, there's a board here and a board maybe just in front of it. You got to go under this one and back over that. It's a go out, then nose down. It's not like a nose down the entire way. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I can try and make it, and I can tell myself, all right, I'm gonna make this putt. And yeah, of course, I know I'm not going to every time, but even if I don't, I'm still 10, 15 feet away because I'm coming in high to low. Whereas if I'm doing, like I used to, if I miss the basket, I'm flying 25, 30 feet. Percentages aren't gonna be with you to make that putt every time and not 3-putt. I have a really high release, so it's like, if I'm 60 feet away, I got to putt higher, know that my gravity in the nose down angle is going to come in towards the basket and drop. For me, it's all just developing muscle memory and hitting that spot in the air, knowing that by the time I get to the basket, it's falling into the pocket. And there's a lot of things that I do that no matter what your putting style is, you can implement it. It doesn't have to be the exact way I do it, but there's a lot of momentum, a lot of with the wrist pop and the fingers. I basically hold my wrist angle, whatever it is. Some people putt Anheuser, some people putt Heiser. Whatever your preferred angle is, hold your angle from start to finish, lock your wrist in place. If you notice, my elbow may move a little bit. It's not gonna move a ridiculous amount, but it's more of this, and that way my wrist and my angle never moves on my putter. A lot of people wanna like extend their arm way up in the air, but actually a follow through with a putt is more of extending forward, not up like you would with a drive and follow through around. So that's a big thing I see with amateurs when they make mistakes putting, is they're actually overemphasizing the follow through as opposed to trying to focus on the follow through of their arm and extending their wrist. So it's basically wrist and arm extending together at the same time. If you notice, my arm's a little bit bent and my wrist is in place, and then it's more, when I'm ready to go forward, it's bam, I'm stopping my wrist. I'm not opening my wrist like that. It's more of a pop instead of a spin. So that's the difference between when I first started, is I would do this and open my wrist, and then I have so many more, I can miss early, right? There's so many more variables to where if I hold it, like I talked about, hold it in place the entire way and then pop forward, I know my putter is gonna come out on that angle every time. So I'm just coming straight back and extending forward, and now the only variable that has to come into play is that wrist. And that wrist isn't over snapping, it's just popping and stopping, pop and stop, basically.